So hey guys, we are back with another video, and in this video we are going to talk about the latest Deepseek-R1 model. So in the previous few months we have seen that OpenAI has totally become a closed AI company, and we are not seeing anything actually open source coming from them. And we have seen companies like Meta and Google releasing a lot of open source models, but we all know that when it comes to capability matching, OpenAI is still ahead. And seriously, when it is coming to the reasoning part, we know O1 is really a model which everyone wants to build on top of. Now, DeepSeek have been active in this space for pretty, I think, long now. They released a model V3, I think a month back, and we saw a lot of hype over it. But now they have come up with a reasoning model, and they say that according to the technical reports, they are matching the level of OpenAI O1. That's a big claim, right? And the best part, they have open sourced almost every single thing. If you see here, they have open sourced the Deepseek-R1, they have open sourced the Deepseek-R1 0, which is not the supervised fine-tuned one, and then they have the distilled models of Llama, Quinn. Then they have open sourced the Quinn 7 billion, and they say that they are outperforming the Quinn 32 billion parameter model by this small model. And if you go, you can actually chat with this model. I did a small example test here, if you see, and we'll come to this post we are done with this video. And once we have discussed the research paper, so if you look at what are they claiming, in the initial things they claim that through reinforcement learning, DeepSeek R10 naturally emerges with numerous powerful and reasoning behaviors. However, it encounters challenges such as poor readability. Now, I think they have fixed that issue using a reasoning performance to introduce the reasoning performance metric, and they introduced DeepSeek R1. So they have incorporated multi-stage training and cool start data before the reinforcement learning, and it achieves performance which is comparable to OpenAI O1, and they have open sourced it. So if you see here, they have open sourced it. This is a 685 billion parameter model, pretty big model. And to support the research community, we open source DeepSeek R10, R1, and 6 dense model 1.5 billion, 7 billion, 8 billion, 14 billion, 32 billion, 70 billion. I think they have open sourced every single thing. Now, if you go here, we go down, right? You will see that when it comes to research part, comparison of DeepSeek R10 and OpenAI O1 on reasoning related benchmarks, you will see R10 itself is pretty close on AIME 2024 and the Math 500. You will see results are pretty close, 95.9, and O1 was 94.8. They are almost similar. Definitely you can argue that it is even outperforming O1 mini. So what can we conclude from here? And we have still not talked about the R1 model, right? Now, if you go here, they have listed all the things that they have done, open sourced it quite, and you guys can go and read this paper, a very powerful paper. I can't discuss it in detail because it is going to take a full video. Maybe we can do that in the next video. And if you look at the results here, you will see that DeepSeek R1, DeepSeek V3, and DeepSeek R1 32 billion. These are the three models they are comparing here, along with OpenAI Mini, O1 Mini, and O1. You will see that R1 is performing as one of the best model in the whole, right? If you see 79.8, 96.3, 97.3, 71, 90.8, and 49.2, the results look outstanding, right? Literally outstanding, outperforming literally every single one of them. O1 mini, I think, is the weakest model you will say here if you compare to reasoning things. Yeah, V3 you can say definitely, but we need to consider the fact that V3 model is not specifically for reasoning, right? And a lot of things here require reasoning. So yeah, these all benchmarks looks pretty good, and we can conclude from here, according to the technical report, that they have done something unachievable, which a lot of people were thinking 2 months back, right? And if you look at the model that they have open sourced here, you guys can go and literally use this model on your local device. I know a lot of us don't have that capability, but yep. So the activated parameters at once is 37 billion, context length is 128k, looks pretty decent, and the distant models are here. I think at least this model, I think the Quinn small model, I think 8 billion one, right? These two models can be done by anyone, right? Now if we go here, right, this is the Quinn 7 billion and this is the Llama 8 billion. So if we go here to the Hugging Face and we look at this particular model, which is Quinn R1 distilled Quinn 7 billion, right? This model can be done, can be even run on a Jupyter notebook. So, and what they say that it is able to outperform the 32 billion parameter model, right? So if you see here, Deepseek-R1 distilled coin 32 billion outperforms Oven mini across all the things, which is a big thing, right? Because the 32 billion model is parameter model is outperforming OpenAI Oven mini. Big thing. And now look at some results. So I simply asked it which model you are, and it said I am DeepSeek V3. I again asked which model you are with the deep think mode, right? I have make sure that it is on. It is thinking about that in detail. That okay, in the previous exchange I responded that I am DeepSeek V3, and I should clarify the model, and then it is saying hi, I am Deepseek-R1 Lite preview. So yeah, and if you look at this problem, which is still failing in OpenAI O1 preview, I remember, which is greater 9.9 or 9.19, and you will see this time the model thinks a lot about this, a lot. When I say a lot, it is all a lot. So it is saying that okay, this is 9.90, and we need to convert both to fraction, which is 99 by 10. Then you have 90 by 100. So then it does a comparison, and then it comes to that 9.9 is greater than 9.19. So you see, you will see two separate entities of this model. If I write what is the overall purpose of life, this is just a demo question. You will see that the model is thinking from 2 points. Okay, it is going to think that there's no one size fits all the answer. Definitely, now I need to make sure that I present these ideas neutrally. Now you see, it is thinking from two sides, that okay, this can be one part, that can be one part. So there are multiple approaches to the single problem, and then it comes to presenting the answer to you. So this model looks awesome from the first point, and I would recommend the whole community to go and test this model, and get some awesome outcomes from it, because I personally think that this model is capable of a lot of things which OpenAI O1 is currently capable of, though, and they have open source it. So why not use it and just get the best out of it. So yeah, that was pretty much out of this video. And I personally think that the way these Chinese companies are leading the OpenAI open source research race is incredible. And I personally feel that all companies, including OpenAI, should contribute something to open source, because that is how community grows, right? And that's the reason we are not seeing any big things happening in the market right now, because nothing is being open source, right? No new ways or techniques are being open source right now. So yeah, that was it for the video, guys. I hope you guys learned something new, and you guys are going to test it out. I'll put all the links in the description as usual, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, and have a nice day.